Alrighty, hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we are actually going to be working on a Bulldog M4A1. Now this has been sent in to me and is a very old gun. And basically what I've been told is this thing will not work. It looks horrendous from the outside. I mean, the first things I can tell, this has definitely been used. I mean, we've got scratches in certain places. Obviously have spray paint over this. We've had times where it's been opened. You can see that the screws have been threaded. We can see damage. We can see, this doesn't even fit properly. The actual pistol grip, if I can show that, doesn't fit properly. So what he told me is he opened the gearbox and he put it back together and the gun won't function now and it looks horrendous. And there's been some chrono tags here and whatnot. So we're going to be taking it apart today. Nothing too crazy. I think I'm going to go ahead and basically take everything out, get the gearbox in, and just try and get this thing to work. It's a very old gun. I don't have spare parts for this. So let's see. So the first thing I'm going to do is basically take this screw off. Now all this screw does, although a lot of newer model guns tend to not have a screw, it's literally just a bolt that you slam out. Keep that safe in there. And obviously this is what appears to be basically a bolt mechanism with a screw. And Bob's your uncle. This should just slide. Alright, so it does slide. Certainly a tight fit. Holy crap. Okay, so the first thing he said was that there's no hop-up rubber in this, which is absolutely hilarious. Luckily, I do in fact have a hop-up rubber, so we're going to go ahead and install that, and I'll show you how to do that. So, I'll just go ahead and show you. So, this is the barrel. This is specifically your handguard, so when you're obviously operating the weapon, handguard tends to be downwards, and you're going to have a grip, and then you're going to have a sight on here usually. Or, in this case, it appears he doesn't have an iron sight, so I'm assuming based on the fact that he's giving me a holographic sight, this uses a holo. So this is the barrel. This is essentially what your gun is using to obviously propel those BBs out. And this is a hop up. This is what we use to adjust whether or not the barrel will go up or down. Or sorry, the spin, or excuse me, the spin of the bullet or the BB. Apologies. So this just, yeah, it just makes adjustments. If you actually run it all the way down, you'll see at the bottom, I apologize for the horrible camera, but you'll see that when we adjust this, this changes basically the angle of how the the BB goes in, and then that also changes whether or not it fires up or down. You will need to adjust this depending on your conditions. If you're playing in a very warm area, you might need to make it lower. If you're playing in a very cold area, air isn't as expandable, and so therefore, obviously, you need to compensate for it. So we're just going to put a hop-up rubber in here. I essentially want to work my way down the gun so that hopefully everything's good. So first thing, let's go ahead and get that C-clip out, if I can get it out. This has definitely been used for some time. All right, so hop-up rubber. Inside the hop-up rubber, if I can actually get a light or something, excuse me, there should be, yeah, there it is. It's a little notch. So inside every hop-up rubber, oh, okay, my phone's just decided to die. Fantastic, really bad timing, and I don't have. Okay, let me get a charge. Shit. How the fuck does this shit happen to me? Does this even have any charge left in it? Because I know where my cable is, but it's quite far away. We're gonna go ahead and leave my phone on charge, I guess, to use my torch, because unfortunately the torch I was using originally, it just doesn't want to work anymore. So I've had to obviously resort to using my phone. Anyways, not the point. So what I like to do whenever doing this is raise the hop up, or sorry, lower the hop up all the way down. So that's usually when this sticky bit on the bottom just sticks out the most, right? And this just allows easier, you can put stuff in easier, whatever. So leave this aside. That we don't need to worry about. What we need to worry about right now is the hopper roller. So what this does is a couple things. Number one, when you load a BB, this will actually hold the BB, and then the air that comes from your gearbox basically pushes air and lets it fire out. It also creates air compression. So between the hop up and the barrel, this is the hop up, by the way, what you will actually notice is there's a lot of room for this to wiggle about, and because of that, there's not actually a direct way that the air travels. There's not a specific route that the air goes, because there are pockets where air can just go wherever it likes. So, how do we put a hop-up rubber in? Very good question. All right, so what you do is you find that little there should be inside, there's like a little lip, and all you want to do is find the hole on your actual hop-up. So you'll see there, oh sorry, your barrel. So you'll see there's that hole, and basically all you're going to do is that little lip you're going to align with that hole. Now, if you do it right, this should just slide over. There shouldn't be a problem. It should slide over nicely. And once I get my torch back from my phone deciding to turn back on, we'll be able to check to see if that little lip has obviously gone in. So if I'm just looking down the barrel now, I can see where that lip is. So well, my phone has decided to turn on. Fantastic. A little bit unprofessional because I don't have my torch and my torch is now not working. Great. Let my phone's OS boot up so I can finally start using the fucking flashlight. Come on. I've turned the flashlight on about 8 times now and it's still not responding. I'm just gonna wait for that to. There we go. Oh, hello. Alright, so if I go ahead and show you guys, I don't know if you'll be able to see it because obviously it's really difficult to see inside this. I don't really think you'll be able to, but inside there is a little lip. There's like a little notch. I don't know what the hell you want to call it. All it's designed to do is go into this hole in the barrel, and all that does is it basically gives you yeah, cannot speak. Oh, and one more thing, an easy way that you don't actually need to look for this bit is you'll see there is a line here. Now, in your hop-up, there is a very clear line at the bottom, and you need to align these two so that fingers crossed, when you actually go to put the hop-up in, it just pops on smoothly. If you do it wrong, your hop-up will not want to go on, and you could also risk tearing which is a very bad thing. You do not want a hop-up rubber to tear at all. Now, if you do it right, you should be able to just slide that on and there's absolutely no problem. You can see mine has just slid on perfectly. It fits everywhere. It doesn't move. That means it's good. So, fantastic. What's the next step? The next step is very simple. So, excuse me. Um, oh, I need to remember how to do this. Oops. I'm meant to be a professional, guys. Uh, if I remember correctly, it's the little lip goes to the top, but I actually can't remember. All right, Google time, because I actually don't remember. Bear with me. Oh, Google, I really don't care if you got some new stuff. Eh. Bam, bam, bam. All right, we just need this guy, and then let me switch to this. All right, cool. So I was actually right. So there's a little line on your gun, on your barrel. I keep saying gun for some reason. Hello, my fucking brain doesn't want to work. And essentially, you need to line this up with the top of your hop-up. So your hop-up needs to face this way, and the line on your barrel, you need to essentially face that the same way. If you do that, go ahead and slide it in until it stops. It should stop where the hop-up metal or plastic, I don't know, it depends on your weapon, ends with the actual metal. Now, it can sometimes go a little further, but the one thing I like to do just to check, make sure the hop-up rubber is all the way in. It will get pushed, but I just like to do this anyways because I'm somebody who will get very anxious and think that, oh my God, I've made a mistake. But, whatever. All right, so the last thing is to take your C-clip. Now, some C-clips are different, but the general aspect is that you just pop it back on. And if you've done it right, it will pop on like that. That's also an important part because that actually also keeps the air compression. And that's it. That is your hop-up done. That is literally it. So that's a hop-up rubber in there. We've got the C-clip in. We've got the rubber. We've got everything. So the next step is take your gun, your handguard, yeah, and you want to make sure also that the spring is on. Now, this is a thing that you need to have on because this basically, when you slide the hop up in, it will spring against the body and that'll tell you if it's actually properly in. So all you're going to do, just go ahead, pop this bad boy in Not a problem. Just keep sliding. I would recommend lifting it a little bit just so you can get past um, the dummy dust cover. And if you've done it right, when you push it in, you'll see it springs back. That means your spring is in, everything's in, nothing's going to fall out, you're all good. That is how you install a hop-up rubber, but also just make sure that the angle is correct, your hop-up rubber is incorrect, and that your hop-up, how to access your hop-up. Handguard, there's nothing else really on this build specifically. Some of them obviously you can actually change so that the top here, I don't know if this is actually a threaded barrel. It is moving, but it does not feel like a threaded barrel. So some, like the new gun that I've ordered, do have a threaded barrel, which will allow you to put things like tracer units on, or you can put suppressors, or even change to like a compensator or flash hider, whatever the hell you want. But for this gun specifically, it doesn't appear that there's a lot of customization, and this is because this is quite a cheap build. So we've sorted that. Let's get that out of the way. We don't need to worry about that. What we are going to be worrying about today is this piece of crap. Now, the reason I call it a piece of crap is because it is absolutely horrible to work on old guns, especially ones that I haven't touched a version 1 gearbox in a while. So it's going to be very difficult for me to do this repair because I'm not going to remember like 80% of what to do. So the first thing is when taking the buttstock off, it will be like this. There's just two buttons here. Don't worry about the screws, they are dummy screws. And all you want to do, hold the gun like this, push those out, and then boom, you get access. Now, different guns have different things. The new one that I bought is a skeleton butt pad, which you can just slide. It has all this extra stuff. But general aspect, that's how you do it. Now, what I'm actually going to do is go ahead and unscrew a screw all the way at the bottom here. Now, there is a screw. I won't be able to show this on camera, but at the back of the stock, there is usually a screw, and this screw's job is just holding this in. Now, this isn't for every single build. Some builds might not have this screw, and it might just be a kind of plug and play system. By plug and play, I mean that you press like two plastic buttons in, and you can get access to this. But everywhere is different. So this one just uses a single screw and a sheath of metal, um, which in return, I'm gonna try and get this thing to out. Okay, it started to thread, so I think it's out. Yeah, it's out. Okay, so once you undo that screw, it's not gonna come flying out at you. It's not spring loaded or anything. All you're gonna do is pull, and you're gonna notice that, oh, this is still attached. What am I gonna do, David? Oh my God, I actually can't do anything. No, what you need to do is get a screwdriver in there and gently mess around until you manage to actually pull or push the metal sheath out of the way. Now, an easy way to do this, how I like to do this, is just prod at it, or even better way, if this works, get the screw out, and the metal will just fall off, kind of. You can hear it in there. And there you go. You can just pull it off. Your stock has now just come off. Fan-dabby-dozy. Let's put that to one side. And this is the little metal sheath I was on about. So all this does is basically holds this humongous screw in, and it connects into the body. But don't worry too much about that. So we now have our wiring, and we've got this other piece which basically just protects the wiring here. Nothing too crazy. All right, so the horrible part that I'm going to move on to now. I don't have pliers. He said that this specific screw is an absolute pain in the ass to get out, which I can definitely believe because there are clear marks where he's attempted to open it. So what are we going to do? Well, first thing we're going to do is actually take this off. Where are the screws for this? Oh, wait. Oh, okay, they're in this little package box. I was about to say, how has he put a motor in this when there's no screw? Bro, I got so scared for a second. I was like, did I lose the screws? And I was like, no. Alright, so at the bottom here, we have the motor height adjuster. So basically, you screw this in or out, and this will adjust the height of the motor so that it connects correctly with the gears. and especially the bevel gear, which is the gear that obviously contacts with the motor. So we need a very specific screw to actually get this open because this appears to be very harshly put in. Usually when you unscrew these, they pop out. This one does not want to pop. Wow. Wow. Okay. That's very interesting. I'm just trying to get some leverage under it. It does not want to budge. Okay. Jesus Christ. This gun has been abused. Okay. Let's try a different way. I'm going to try wedge a screwdriver in between the gap. And hopefully. Jesus, bro, this, I'm not even joking. This never has happened to me. I have never had the plate that actually like is in the grip just not want to come out. Usually these will be very loose or will pop out, but this one just apparently isn't. All right, so we got it out. And yeah, as expected, there's no motor in there. That's because we're also going to be installing a motor today. So, on the inside of your pistol grip, there will probably be two wires and a motor. Usually these are all plugged in. However, in this specific scenario, there isn't a motor plugged in because he's actually taken the motor out. So, all he's done is basically put the handguard back on, which I ill-advise because he clearly hasn't put the gearbox back together properly. Otherwise, there wouldn't be any bulging that we see at the bottom. And also, this wiring appears to be absolutely horrible. My reason for saying that is because just looking into this, I can clearly see how this has been wired, and it is not a great way to wire a gearbox. That is a very horrendous way to wire a gearbox. So we're going to take the handguard off. Now there's two screws or four screws at the bottom. This one has two, and all you need to do is just unscrew these. Be very very conscious that you are now working with cables. Also, please, for the love of God, just one massive, massive piece of advice, okay? When you are working with electronics, please make sure that you have either discharged anything inside or hear me out, right? You don't plug a battery in. I have seen so many people try to run so that's the handguard. Oh, the pistol grip, sorry. Yeah. Try to obviously open these up when there is stuff in them, which I find absolutely stupid. Okay, so the next thing we're going to get rid of is also the mag release. Now this is interesting. So the mag release button is basically just a spring mechanism. It's nothing insanely special. It's held by one screw. So, you know, it's not too difficult to take off. All it is literally a spring and two pieces of plastic and a metal screw. That is literally the entire build. It's simple because it doesn't need to be complex at all. I wouldn't really see a point why you would want a complex magazine release catch. There we go. So that's the magazine release, and there's the little spring that I was on about. If I can get that out real quick, I'll just get a screwdriver. Let's move in the magnetic. All right, so we are pretty down to the bare bones. I mean, we see the gearbox and we have part of the body. So, what do we do in this situation? All right. The first thing is when you are taking out a gearbox, obviously make sure that nothing's plugged in. If there's any capacitance or anything, you can discharge it, but usually there won't be unless you have specific modifications. So, for instance, I can touch these cables fine, and I'm not going to get shocked, even though I am not ground. No, I'm not grounded because I'm on a carpet floor. So yeah, obviously, any electronics, please be wary. You're working with an electronic. Don't be stupid. Simple. So, what are we going to do? Well, there's a couple things we need to do. We need to take this bolt out, which is screwed in. We then need to take the dead bolt out, and then we can obviously take the gearbox out and have a look. So I'm actually going to go ahead and get my very thin Allen key. I'll be 1 sec. Okie dokie. So I've gotten my Allen key set. Where is my Streamlabs? So I can make sure that everything's working. Cool. Okay. So I'm going to remove the dead bolt first. Now the dead bolt, this is essentially a dead bolt. All this does is basically you can't push it out a certain way. Um, so this is a hard. Essentially, what this does, it just makes sure that the gearbox is in place. If you lose all your other screws, you can still rely on this to hold it onto the body. But don't please, because if anything happens, you can put a lot of strain on this. Now you'll see there's a little bit of threading on here. This just basically makes it so it can only be pushed one way. So you can't like just slam it in and out both ways. It can only go one way. So we're going to place that to the side. So now the dead bolt's out. When you are removing a gearbox, you want to place your trigger, and he said one of the other issues is that his trigger gets stuck. So when he's like trying to be in semi, it gets stuck like this, right? And it just starts firing on its own, which is usually a resistive issue on the plate that's on here, but we're going to get to that later. So when you're removing a gearbox, place your trigger on between safe and semi-automatic. You need to place it there because that allows the gearbox to come out. Now the final thing that we have to do, and I'm honestly kind of unsure how we're going to do this because pliers haven't worked on this. I previously did try to open this when he gave it me, but yeah, pliers would not hold this. So we might have to do some very makeshift stuff to get this bolt out because it just does not want to come out. Okay, no, that's not even moving. Let's try the bigger one. That doesn't fit. Let's try this one. This one work? Fandabby dozy, that works. Okay, so I'm gonna just try and hold the other side of the bolt. Yeah, okay, wow! That is not moving. That does not want to move. Okay, we're gonna try essentially locking this so that it won't move, but I'm really unsure how we're actually gonna do this. Jesus Christ, dude, this thing will not move. Could I put an Allen key maybe? And just get it to force it to stop moving? Or do I need to actually, because if it turns this way, so left, would left be righty tighty lefty loosey? Yeah, so left would be the way that we are going to be trying to, oh, left will be the way that we are trying to, so we need to basically stop it going left. Now what I tend to do with stuff like this is a really bad idea. I don't think this is going to work actually because of obviously how the gun is I just tend to get like a hard surface and just slam it on there. So if it tries to move, it can't. Unfortunately, this gun has things that are poking out, which means that I can't do that method. Now, I'm trying to think of some stupid way to do this because pliers didn't work at all. Like, I was like, oh yeah, I just use my pliers, and I tried pliers and it just wouldn't work. So I need to basically create some kind of like a block to prevent this from actually moving. But obviously that isn't going to be the easiest thing to do. So I don't really know how I'm going to do this at all. I could just jam a bunch of like bit parts in, but I know that I could very well damage my own stuff because like yeah, even then the bit parts aren't even big enough to actually do that. So very interesting dilemma. This usually requires some very specialist equipment that I don't have, unfortunately. Yeah, even just trying to hold it in place, it just doesn't want to. Yeah, like it's just wanting to be annoying. Um, 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 um. So this is certainly interesting. Trying to think of something I can use that will just hold that in place and just won't let it move. Um, that will definitely not work. Yeah, because that would definitely work, David. Jesus Christ, my ideas get worse by the day. Actually, wait a minute. No, this might actually work, but I might mangle the flipping plastic, which is something I'm a bit worried about. Um, so stupid. I don't know. What the fuck do I do? You know what? I'm gonna do it the old-fashioned way. We're gonna get a pair of scissors and use them as pliers. This is a very bad idea. Please don't do this at home. This is probably the most unsafe shit you are going to see this whole year. Oh my god, it's still fucking turning. Bro, what do I need to actually use just to stop you from turning? Like, how much force? I'm not even joking. Like, this is horrendous. I don't have any pliers. Hello? Yeah, speaking. I don't give a shit. Please fuck off. I hate these fucking scam calls. What do you want from me? What do you want from me? Why do I have so many? Oh my god, I thought I got called into work. So does this allow me to maybe do that? Or is it just gonna free spin? Probably gonna free spin, isn't it? Yep. God damn it. I don't know what the fuck to use then. I'm so lost for words as to how he's either managed to fuck it up this bad, and that I'm having to go to very extreme lengths now just to figure out how the fuck to actually hold this down. I can just about fit a fat Allen key in there, but that's not really gonna do anything, is it? It's slightly too big. I mean, I don't fucking know then. This is so stupid. I don't really get who decided to thread this badly because it is disgusting. Honestly, it's disgusting. How can you thread a bolt this badly? Like, I can't do anything with it at all, which is the thing that annoys me because now I have to find some very unorthodox way to basically unscrew this because it will just run freely. So I need to essentially create something that will stop this from moving, and it doesn't work with pliers. I tried with pliers, there is way too much force that the pliers just don't want to work. Like, look, if I just try with my hands, no chance, right? So if I get a piece of fabric, like say my jumper, right? And I don't know, oh, let's see, if I just attempt to hold it. Oh, that works. Holy shit. My genius and my pink pants, apparently. I'm wearing pink today, really? Holy shit. Okay, that got the bolt out. I might have lost a screw though. Oh no, it's here. Okay, there we go. Fantastic. Only took a little bit of ingenuity, but we finally got there in the end. I can put all these parts back now. Fantastic. Okay. So we have the deadbolt out. We've placed this to semi, and this should just slip out. It does. That's good, isn't it? I don't think this cable actually can come through. I know on a lot of models they can't because they're like hard stuck in there. Yeah, this is hard stuck. Damn it. That's going to be an annoying thing. Okay, let's see this. Because he said that basically when he was attempting to, because like look now it's in fire mode. That should be safe. So safe, yeah, it doesn't work properly. Safe is literally like that. But for whatever reason, the safety doesn't work. So I don't know if it's maybe that the actual gearbox itself is just when it's open that it's doing that or what. Okay, we're going to be taking apart a version 1 gearbox, a very, very old gearbox. I'm not even going to reshim it, nothing. I am just straight up going to open it, keep the shims that it has, try and get it to function. That is in it. Wow. Okay. We have already found our biggest issue. This is a wire that has been stripped of its protection. That is not a good thing. Okay, I might need to go and find some electrical tape because that's a fucking hazard and a half. So there's an open there's a wire with the insulation that is just absolutely fucked off. Like the insulation is just not there. That is really bad. That is really bad. Um Jesus Christ. It's a very good thing I did not attempt to put anything in. So just going to go ahead. Now, there are a lot of screws in here. There's also a spring in here that I'm going to show you how to remove properly. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to take all of these screws off. So I like to start at the bottom when I take the gearbox out, but it doesn't really matter. The only thing you need to be wary of is this spring. And the reason you need to be wary of that spring is because once you start taking apart the top, that spring is going to have space where it can go flying. And I hope to God I actually remember this, because sometimes I just open gearboxes and yeah. My dumbass forgets that. It's down to the last 4 screws here. So he basically said that when he tries to obviously run a motor on this gun, it doesn't want to work. I think I've already found our first issue. The reverse latch has fallen out, which is a big problem. Because your gun's not going to work if the reverse latch isn't there. Well, no, that's wrong actually. You can take it out. It's just, it needs to be modified, like the trigger assembly and whatnot, and how a motor works and everything. The things need to be modified in order for you to take the reverse latch out. For those wondering what a anti-reverse lever does, basically it's a little latch inside of your gun that is designed in a way where essentially if the motor tries to spin backwards, um, because it would be bad for the gun, because instead of creating, what the fuck? This screw's threaded. Is it actually fully threaded? It's free running. Okay, I'm gonna open this and that spring is gonna come flying out. Is it threaded? I'm so confused. It is. Why don't you want to come out? I'm so confused. Oh yes, casually puts high pressured spring in their face. I'm the best safety advisor out there, guys. I hope you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay, so that screw is threaded, and now I have just basically primed the fucking bomb. Where the fuck is that screw? Is that the screw? That's the screw. Alright, so I might have just primed a fucking bomb, which is a bit scary. Don't fucking go flying, please. I know that you want to, but I really don't want you to. Yeah, I'm holding you back, because you're gonna fucking go flying. What the fuck's holding the plate down? I'm so... Okay. Don't fly! Please, please, please. Ah, you son of a bitch, you tried. Okay, that's the spring I was on about, so be careful with that. Alright. So this is a version 1 gearbox. Interesting. Alright, so fucking 2 gears have already just disappeared. So we've obviously got our spring injection system here. And I think one of the things that wasn't actually letting it fire was the fact that the teeth are the fucking wrong way, which is hilarious in my opinion. And then we've got the nozzle. So yeah, these teeth need to be downwards. If you don't do that, your gun ain't gonna fucking fire. Just saying to the idiots out there that will probably run this with the teeth the wrong way. And then, of course, we just need to get this out. Just a nice little pop. And boom! That's all cool. All right. So let's see what we can fix here. Okay, the trigger's already decided to fuck off. So that's a fantastic start. We got a bevel gear here, and I hope that's a fucking washer. Is that a washer? Okay. Very interesting. So what does okay, we have encountered our first problem. These gears aren't spinning. What's happening here? Put the gear back in real quick just to see what's happening. So we have a gear lockup. As you can actually see, these gears don't want to move. Like, I am putting significant pressure on these and they do not want to move. Why do you guys not want to move? That's the wrong way, obviously, but I'm curious as to why they don't want to move. Okay. That is interesting. I think we have missing shims. But there is a shim on this, so I'm confused. Because this is actually locking up against the plate. So this isn't, you can hear it even. It's grinding against the metal plate that it should not be grinding against. And then this, for some reason, I'm not really sure why, but it doesn't want to move. The second I put these gears in, nothing. Let me get the reverse latch lever spring out real quick, just so I can actually see. Let me try to place this in. This is the bevel gear. So let's actually see. Yeah, look at that. So he said when he put a motor in, the gear... Oh, now the... Do we have a lockup? Look at this. Oh! Is it that it... I'm so confused. Yeah, it just doesn't want to move. What is actually causing the friction? Yeah, because look at that. There's so much friction in this. So, to put it simply, usually this is meant to free roam, and this does have a washer on it. Yeah, it does. So this has been shimmed. But the thing that I'm encountering, hear that? It is scratching against the thing that it... So it should be moving like this. But obviously we don't put the fucking gear up to there because then this just wouldn't fit. So it's scratching against here. That is very interesting. I've never actually seen... Well, I have seen something like this, but you can hear that. So I'm basically trying to spin the gear, and I don't know if it's just that it doesn't want to sit, or if it's missing maybe a washer or something. Let's see. Let's try place something just as a pretend washer, for example. I'm going to use just something small, just like a pretend washer, just to see if maybe it's just some random friction that's being like horrible to us. It could well be that, you know, just maybe a little bit of friction. But these are shimmed, so just a pretend washer. I'm gonna go ahead and slam that in. And now, same shit. Same exact shit. Very interesting. Okay. So that is certainly interesting. When I actually place this gear back in, it is grinding. If I can actually just use like a screwdriver or something, maybe it's no. Essentially, this gear, when I am turning it, is grinding on metal. That isn't a lubricating issue. That is a very bad thing, because what that tells me is either it's not being held in the right place, but I don't know. That's strange. Okay, we're going to place this bad boy on. I'm going to see if I can just get them to work together. But you see how they're locking up? Like, it's interesting, man. It's interesting. We'll do some wiring while we're here as well. I think what I'm gonna attempt with this one is just to try and resolve the issue. Because the problem is this gun is so fucking old. I don't actually have the parts in stock for them. And I told the guy that, look, the parts that you might potentially need, you're gonna be waiting months. So I told him, you're better off just going ahead and buying a brand new gun or buying completely brand new components. Like you can buy a version 2 gearbox these days for like 50 bucks. It's very very cheap, you know. It's not expensive. So I'm just using Phillips head here just to push the wire into place. Another thing is this wire is fucking mangled. I don't really know how he's done that. But I'm actually wanting to see what's the wiring path here. So we have washer there. Okay. What the fuck is this wiring path? I'm so confused. So you've got a secondary red cable here, right, that needs to run to this side. So essentially, but the problem is you're going to have a bevel gear here. But if I run it through here, I have to somehow have it sit down. That's, oh my God. It's probably not gonna fucking work at this rate. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. How is this going to work? The wiring is god awful. Absolutely awful wiring. I can't believe a company would actually send a gun out that has this dog shit wiring. Excuse my French, but okay, we're gonna attempt to wire that, I guess. So it's how the fuck do I even explain this? It's just idiotic. Because you can't have anything run here. There's gears here, so this won't work. You can't really have anything running here because this is where the teeth connect. You can't have anything running here. So your only option is to run through here, and then obviously you want the shortest path for your wire. So you're now trying to ask me to not only rebend a wire in... Oh god, this is horrendous. Yeah, no wonder this gun doesn't fucking work. Whoever built this gun was on life support. I don't care what anyone says. This is literally a gun on life support. And if I actually manage to repair it, then wow. I'm just gonna say wow. So my question is, how am I meant to actually make it so that it runs under the motor? Because you have to bear in mind, this is what's gonna happen, basically. And if the motor, it's fucking magnetic. If the motor actually sits in there properly, there is no space at all for a wire to go there. I'm okay. You know what I want to do? I'm gonna search up the M4A1 schematic for this. M4A1 Bulldog. This is definitely not the gun. Bulldog. What the fuck are these guns, bro? Why is it so zoomed in? Holy shit. This is. I want to know. So it's the Bulldog ST Beta. Now, my curiosity is who the actual fuck designed this. I'm just looking now. I can actually show you guys. Where's Streamlabs? So we just go ahead and get display capture up, and then let me disable this. So this is the gun that we're working on. Now, I'm curious about the gearbox. Gear, gearbox. Okay, fantastic. So, yeah, I was expecting that. What gearbox does this run? Is an outstanding pro level. This ain't nowhere close to pro level. Whoever fucking said this is pro level. This is a long axle. Okay. I kind of knew that, but yeah. So what actual... I'm so confused. Key feature. Wow, it features a high cap mag. So I'll bet you money if I go on YouTube right now, I'll just search up, whatever, and just type disassembly. Okay, that's not it. How to disassemble just BB guns, gearbox disassembly of a V2. This is not a V2 gearbox. This is not a V2 gearbox. This is what I don't understand. Who is saying this is a V2 gearbox? Because this clearly bloody isn't. But I'm curious as to the wiring, so I'm gonna quickly watch, just skip somewhere. So he runs his wire under, but this has a MOSFET. So he's running both the cables, then he's running under the chassis. Now, That's what I'm actually trying to do. But the problem is when I try to run it under the chassis, I actually run out of cable. So I'm just trying to figure out how the hell, because these cables are old. So I'm trying to bend them right now into place, and they are not wanting to budge. That's the thing. So this is why I said the wiring is really stupid. Because number one, these wires are old. Okay? I don't think after a certain point, these wires aren't going to work anymore. And I have like a 50% chance that when I plug this in to actually go ahead and fire it after probably toying with it, it's not going to fire. I have a very strong belief that that will be the case. I'm just trying to push this down right now just to see how much actual leverage it needs before it's okay. So yeah, as we can clearly see, it just does not want to stay in place. Don't really know what to do there. But what he's actually doing on his screen is he's essentially running a black wire. Oh, sorry, there's a double black wire on his for whatever reason that then runs the red. Um, so essentially the idea is you're supposed to run the red up. So actually this is meant to run upwards. I don't know what the hell just made that horrible noise. So you're meant to run. I've not actually switched my source, have I? Apologies. Go back to. So what you're actually meant to do is essentially run your red wire, which is this asshole of a wire that does not want to go into play. Where have you gone? I place things down. There we go. I was about to say. It's the one thing I really. And look, if I push to try and get it into the position that it's meant to be in, it is not going to sit in that position. Even if I give it extra wire, because this wire is so damn old. And bear in mind it has protrusions on it, which is not exactly safe. But hey, I think this guy just wants a working gun. I mean, safety here just appears to not exist. You can actually see this sheath, we're going to call it a sheath, is meant to go out. Now, for some reason, the cable's now having a go at me. So we're going to try that one more time. Can we not fold over in the wrong way every bloody time that I'm trying to... Jesus Christ. Yeah. Use cable. Oh, there we go. It just went in. Fantastic. Okay. So, we've got our cabling done pretty much, which is great. I mean, it's going to get all shoved down, so I'm not going to be too worried about, you know, stuff like this. Um, Obviously, it has a ton of extra wiring, but when you push down, you're going to need it. Because when I push down, the wiring, all of a sudden, it needs extra wiring and blah, 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 blah. Anyways, we're not bothered about this because this doesn't matter to us. We can obviously adjust stuff as we go. Not a problem. So we're going to leave the wiring alone because I'm going to play around with that for the next hour anyways. So, I'm going to show you how to obviously put your gun back together. Place this gear in. Now, we already know this gear has an issue, but I think what it could just be is the angling. I have a very high suspicion it's just the angle. It's nothing too extra. But yeah, you can definitely see it does spin. It's a good thing that we're using a high torque engine as well. Oh, engine, yeah. Motor. So yeah. Now what I'm actually going to do, a lot of people are going to get very confused of, but I'm basically going to place the motor under this plate. The reason I'm going to do this is because one of the most annoying things for us techs to have to do is put the reverse latch or the anti-reverse latch. The reasoning I say this is the most annoying is because it doesn't like to stay in place. See, I'm going to put it in now. If the hole will actually let me put it in. Why is the spring just falling off? Oh, because there's a magnet, obviously. Hello? My brain does not want to work. Alright, so you place the spring over. It comes off because, you know, problem with airsoft guns, especially if you... Where have you fallen? That is my question. Because you're so thin. Fantastic. Fuck my life. Why did I decide to get into this field? When springs can just fly, and I know it flew onto me, but now my question is, where the fuck is the spring? Oh my god. Where's the spring? I want to die. Where the fuck is the spring? Bruh. Watch it like be on the table or something by some miracle. Oh, I felt something sharp on me. No, never mind. I thought I maybe found it. Ah, this is why I don't like these annoying small parts. I mean, I don't exactly need the reverse latch lever, but whatever. So where the fuck is it? Oh, is that it? Oh, I found it. Took me about fucking 5 minutes, but we found it. Right, I'm gonna show you how to put this on. You're gonna take your spring. You are not probably gonna be able to see that very well. You're gonna see there is a point here. My camera will focus. All you're gonna do is take the bottom of your bevel and you're just gonna wrap it. Oh my god, why are you being difficult? I don't understand. What have I done to you for you to be so difficult? There we go. Okay. I actually know why this is being difficult. And it's because whoever had this gun has mangled this spring. Because I've just tried to put this spring on. It does go on, but I don't think it's going to stay on. Because the first thing I'm encountering is it does not actually want to go in the hole. And I can definitely tell you why. Because the reason that we're hearing that fucking grinding is because of this. There is a huge amount of grinding on the thing that's actually holding this reverse latch in. And I can tell by just looking at it. Now, I can get it in, not a problem. It goes in, and it's doing its job. So my question is, can I actually also get the bevel gear in, which I can, and it is staying in for the moment. I mean, the spring is working like dog shit because it doesn't actually have enough spring to work, and I can't really fix that. I need to order a completely new spring to fix that, so we're kind of stuck there. As you can see, that's all in. Now I'm going to show you why we're going to be using my motor as a magnet. These bevel or the reverse latch lever tends to love to kind of come out of its hole, and especially when you're trying to put the bevel gear in, it just loves to kind of be like, haha, you're now in pain, which is, yeah, that's basically the entirety of airsoft. It's just pain. So what I like to do, just get a very thin amount. Yeah, so now I am very, very confused because this is obviously not going to move, and I'm trying to pull back my reverse latch lever, but it does not want to budge. Unless, of course, you're smart like me, and you also pop it out. You didn't see that part. Ah, okay. So this is one of the things. This guy has mangled his reverse latch lever spring to a point where nothing really wants to sit on it. Now, theoretically, this should be okay, but the thing that I'm worried about is the reverse latch is going to get triggered, primarily because of number one, horrible seating. I think the seating is just disgusting. I mean, if I actually turn this over without trying to drop everything, it does not want to seat properly. That's number one that's worrying me. And number two is even using a magnet to actually hold that in place. It is certainly not easy to actually place the bevel gear in, because once I actually get it in, this son of a bitch now wants to start flying about. But it is moving. So, hey, we've... Oh my god. Yeah, we're having the same issue again. So, this is why you want to try and use a magnet. Now, I don't think my magnet's actually strong enough, which is a little bit unfortunate. But essentially, this latch, as I've just said previously, this reverse latch, has a tendency, especially when you're working on the gearbox, to just fly out, click out of place, so many things that you will find so annoying. Now, that's why we use a magnet. Because what a magnet's going to do is it's going to hold it down, but I actually need something to balance the other side. I'm just trying to find something very quickly that I can... That's a spray paint can. I have a gun. Viewers of this video, please. Don't do what I'm doing. I'm totally not using my Glock that is very old and worn to hold stuff in. No, you didn't see that, guys. I really don't see what you guys are on about. I am a very, very safe person. Unless stuff doesn't go into place, like it isn't now. Okay, so that's in. It's going to move about. That's normal. I'm not even going to worry about that. All I want to do is get the bevel gear in. Once I get this in, I'm going to let it do its thing. Because now it's going to make its little click. And then I'm going to shove this fucker in. The bevel, or the anti-reverse lever is now going to lock up the whole thing. Because why not? You know. Oh, I actually know why. Yeah, okay, thanks. It's actually locked it in place, and that's not even the magnet holding it now. Stupid piece of technology. They don't have anything to like actually hold this down, so the only way that you physically hold this bastard down is with your fingers. But the problem is that the spring also just wants to pop out all the time. As you can see, I got it in, but it's not going to move now until I remove the magnet, and then hopefully, fingers bloody crossed, everything stays in place. This should be able to move. Yes, it's moving. That moves all the other gears. Fantastic. I'm actually going to also just replace the magnet to hold that all in place because I know now that that works. Fantastic. All right, so what are we now going to do with our trigger? So we have the gears back in place. Now we need to place the trigger back in. Now this is a very annoying piece of crap, and I honestly kind of hate the design of this specific trigger. It's old. I always hate old stuff, but I also sometimes love it. But yeah, essentially the spring has nothing it actually properly holds onto, so trying to get it in, especially when you have a magnet underneath that is actually holding vital parts together, trying to get this in without having those parts snap out is a pain in my ass. So I've got it in right now. I'm just gonna go ahead, just test it real quick. Perfect. That spring, yep. And then there's the safety lever. I'm going to push that out back into the gun because you can't put the gearbox back together when it's like that. All right, so we have our gears in. We have our anti-reverse latch, anti-reverse lever. I keep saying latch for some fucking reason. So now we need to actually place this stuff back in. This is the annoying part, I like to call it. And this is because certain parts have to go in certain ways, blah, 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 blah. It makes your life hell because you have to put certain things in that won't really want to go in per se. So yeah, and also it tends to just come apart just to annoy you that slight bit more. So in this part, we're going to go ahead and pop our nozzle on here. The nozzle will then go in here, and you'll see there's like a little piece of metal missing. That's where it's going to go. You're going to line it up with the side, and there should be an area here, or a mold for it. I'm just going to try and get it into that mold, kind of thing. Now, you'll know if you've done it right because you've done it right. No, I'm just... So, essentially, you're going to get this spring, and you're just going to get something to loop over the end. Oh, come on. Yeah, so this spring is a little bit annoying to put back on, um, especially in older builds because they make it extremely tight. So what I just like to do is try and get it up into my fingers, run something through the end. Nope. Okay. And before you try doing this beforehand, just remember it doesn't work. Um, Come on, man. You motherfucker. No! You were so close. Bruh. Why are you bullying me? I'm being bullied. Buy an airsoft gun. Out of my life. Out of my life. I totally don't want to just fucking throw this out of the window. Oh, I actually really do now. Oh, yeah. Because the magnet is now affecting it, which is starting to annoy me. So, clip it on, get it a little bit extended, and you'll see how close that gets. And now I'm going to get annoyed because I'm going to pull it more, and it won't go on, I bet you. No, it clips onto it. Now my finger is trapped, and it's starting to hurt, so I'm just gonna weasel that on. Ow. Ow. Hurts so much, Jesus. Alright, so place it in the mold. It should fit very nicely, very snugly. Shouldn't really be any problems, and obviously, you know, this will go up and down depending on how dumb you are. If you actually pull this forward and back, this will then activate the trigger and all that good stuff. And my trigger fell out. Huh, shit. Yeah, this is why we don't like Bulldog. Because they make things that don't actually sit in places, which is why I don't ever personally use them. I had one Bulldog gun in my entire life, and I will tell you something that I would tell every person who is looking for a new gun. Fuck you! No, don't actually, no, I wouldn't say that to people. The reverse latch just decided to come out. What the hell are you being held in by? Bruh! What the fuck? Bruh, the gear just, yeah, now it comes out. The magnet is not that strong, okay? Also, I've now lost the spring again. Yeah, so this is why I don't like working on older stuff. Because you tend to just lose everything. You lose your sanity as well. So, yeah, it's fan-dabby dozy. Not to worry though, we have our big boy magnet under here, which is now currently locking everything in place. As well as a spring. I completely forgot how magnets worked for a second. Come here. So, let's try this again. Hopefully this time the trigger just doesn't decide to fall out, because if that falls out again, I'm gonna... Yeah, it's actually attempting to fall out, and that's because it's held in by the chassis. Which is why you get that, obviously. So, let's go ahead, just pop that in. Wonderful. Little thing on top. Hopefully it doesn't grab the spring too much. It did not. Get it in place. Does the spring not do its job? Nope, it does not. Why are you being difficult? Hello? Yeah, you are going back and forth, but for whatever reason, you're just being weird. What's happening here? You are in, right? No, you are not in. That's why you're not working properly. Why won't you go into the hole? I'm so confused. There we go. My lord, what happened there, buddy? I was like, why is the actual spring mechanism not working? Or why does it not want to go in? And I was like, oh, probably because of what I've just witnessed. Jesus, man. Okay, bevel gear in. Reverse latch lever decides to come out. Can I resurrect myself and just get it back in the hole without having to take everything off again? Yes, I can. I think. Did I get it in, actually? Holy crap, no, I did not. It just doesn't want to go in that hole. There we go. Okay, let's hold that down. And then I'm just going to remove the motor so that everything can kind of free spin if everything's in properly. This shouldn't be affecting it. So let's see. Nothing now holding anything down. And I feel it spinning. It's probably not spinning well because there we go. Yeah, we can feel the reverse latch lever also playing a part. And there we go. Everything's working perfectly. Okay, we're going to use that magnet again, and we're just going to hold those two down. I want these held down in place because I don't want them springing in my face. So, teeth. You're going to see this part. This is what creates your compression. Big advice. Oh, I need to actually move the shit. Shit. I don't want to do that, but okay. I just remembered that in order for me to actually put the teeth the right way, I need to actually spin everything around. And again, have you just come out? Yes, you have. Jesus Christ, man. It just does not want to stay in that hole. It's like it has an allergy or something. Alright, let's go ahead and move it so that the teeth aren't in the way. So I'm pretty sure this is... Yeah, it's all fine. Okay, so all I need to do is just get the teeth in the right place, and then I can go ahead and pop the magnet back down. And I might place a weight on top actually, just to keep it from being weird and trying to pop out and whatnot. Because the second I let go, it pops out. Which is really interesting. I have never actually seen just a bevel always, or not bevel, my god. Or just a reverse latch lever consistently wanting to come out of its hole. Very weird. Like it's done it again here, but I can actually get it back in and it's all fine. So, oh, and the trigger's just decided to disappear. That's nice of you, isn't it? So yeah, this is the one thing working with older generation stuff. It tends to not want to stay in place, and that's because usually the design back then was basically like, yeah, you're not moving this. We don't want you to move it. You're not moving it. You know, simple as don't move it. Which is a horrible way of designing stuff because essentially if anything went wrong, the technicians usually would not actually end up doing anything with a weapon. They would either just send new parts or whatnot, which very, very stupid because it actually wasted a shit ton of materials, in my opinion. Um, it's just a massive waste of materials, quite frankly. Let's try to get the trigger back in here. Hopefully, if we get the trigger in, I can try and maybe one-hand assemble. What the fuck is happening here? Hello? Go in. Why are you not... Yeah. Go! Bro! Why are you not going in the hole? What, is there an obstruction? There we go. Bloody hell, man. Old parts, bro. I'm telling you. It's a curse. Okay. So take this plunger looking thing. Make sure that the teeth are downwards. Like so. And then just go ahead and insert it into the tube. It might be a little bit difficult to do one-handed, but... I don't have a choice here because I have a bevel, or not a bevel. I keep saying bevel. I'm actually going to throw myself out of a window. Not bevel. A gearbox here that doesn't really want to stay together. And it's going to be especially annoying when I actually go to do wiring because I need to hold the entire weapon and do the wiring, which will certainly be a challenge. So, spring, go in. You don't want to go in. Fantastic. I got to work on multiple things at once. I don't actually know how I'm going to get this spring in because there's so much tension. There should not be this much tension. What the fuck? Wait, why is there so much tension? I'm so confused. Why is there so much tension on that? Holy crap. Can we just take a minute to realize this thing had a ridiculous amount of tension just trying to put it back in, which is a little bit scary, actually. Jesus fucking Christ. That is not good. Yeah, this it's gonna certainly seen better days, I guess. Um, but wow, that is a huge amount of spring tension. And this gun I know for a fact doesn't shoot at amazingly high FPS. So I'm questioning now why the hell it fucking has that much tension. Because that's just too much tension. Okay. Why are you now being difficult? There is nothing obstructing you, and you still want to have an obstruction. And I'm literally making... Look at this. Go in, damn it. What? What the fuck? Oh, there you go. You're so weird. Jesus Christ, Bulldog. You have some shit guns. What the fuck is this? I feel like I'm playing with a toy. This is a lethal fucking weapon, and this is how shit it's designed. Imagine being on like a training ground as a mechanic, and you have to try and fix this, because the military use these in training, right? Who in their fucking mind would repair this? It's so. Why have you fallen from that? Why the hell is everything coming out now? This is why I really don't like working on older models. They tend to piss me off so badly that I will either end up just fucking getting, just buying a brand new gearbox and just shoving it in, rather than actually taking the time. Why have you fallen out now? Bro, everything is falling out. My luck is shit today. I'm not going to worry about that too much because I can obviously put that in later on. But, like, it's just stupid shit like this that pisses me off. Like, who, when designing this, was like, what we should do, guys? Let's make it so the bevel gear just consistently flies out and pisses off whoever's trying to repair it. So they send it back to us and we just slam a brand new gearbox in, waste a shit ton of our money. And no wonder that Bulldog is one of those companies that people stay away from because it's dog shit. If you are a first time airsofter, do not go and buy Bulldog stuff. I would prefer you buy a fucking spring powered assault rifle than Bulldog. Because if you have a problem with that gun, GG to whoever's working on it. I'm certainly not going to work on it because your gun is going to be painful to work on. Okay? Oh, fuck that. Right, we're going to force this in, and this might go horribly wrong. Yeah, we can already tell it's going to go horribly wrong, but we need to force it down. Get in there. Okay, don't fucking fly. What I am doing right now, I do not recommend to any human being to do, okay? The reason I say this is because right now I have essentially a mini bomb in my hands. Because what could happen at any point right now is that spring could just fly up and fucking slam me in the face. But because the spring seems to be way too high in tension, I can't do anything. So, and the trigger comes out, and the trigger comes out. I'm going to throw this thing in the fucking ocean in a second, and the fish are gonna actually repair it for me. Because I also can't get the safety latch to stay. There we go, that's fine. Okay, all the wiring is done. So the only thing that I need to do now is very slowly, I need to put the cover on. And my plan is I'm going to try and force this bad boy to stay in. Okay, I'm going to force it to try to stay in. Actually, what I'm going to do, I can't run the gears, but I'm just going to try and get it to stay in one position. And fingers fucking crossed, everything should stay in place. I don't give a fuck about this cable because it's not listening to me at all. But when everything gets pushed down, why am I fucking whispering? What the fuck? Okay, so we place this on top. Okay, shh. Nice and gently. See where that bevel is. Okay. We're in a good run right now. Very good area right now. Okay. I'm going to explain why. Because everything is in the right place. All the gears are in the right place. The spring is in the right place. Only thing I'm trying to fucking sort right now is this stupid wire that doesn't want to stay down. Now, if everything's correct, everything should be correct. I'm going to take it off the magnet, so now I can actually just work on it. Okay, it all closes. That's a very good sign. I'm just going to say this to all of you people. If your gearbox closes and nothing is protruding, congratulations. I have actually just repaired this. Woohoo! Alright, so once you place the top back on, go ahead and start putting screws in. I like to do this in a zigzag method. I've actually just managed to repair this, which is crazy. Now, I have no idea about the resistance. For the life of me, this might need shimming, but he just said he wants it put back together in a position where, technically speaking, it should be able to fire, which is exactly what I've done for him. Where are my little screws? I need the long screws first. So, long screw, long screw, long screw, and a long screw. And there were 4 short screws at the top. Where the fuck are they? Alright, there's 1, there's 2. So 1 here, 1 here. I don't know which one this is. Is this a shitty one or is this a long one or what? It's not a long one, that's for sure. Alright, so what you do, very simple. First thing, you are going to basically squish your gearbox together. You want everything in the right place. You know, you want to make sure everything's in. I'm very surprised that that spring didn't fly out at me. That was the thing I was most afraid of. But if we actually look inside, tis incorrectly. Yeah, it's incorrectly. So that's nice. And we can test this, but I'm actually going to just screw a couple of them down first because I don't really want to test it when everything is just bam, open, ready to go, you know? Okay. Boom, boom. Oh, why am I... I keep doing the back and forth motion with it because I'm used to this screwdriver. If I put it that way, then I can just... Doesn't work all the time, unfortunately. Just get it nice and tight. Same for here. That's a big thing, though. Is making sure that your gearbox does go together. If your gearbox is not going together, you have done something wrong. You have done something very, very wrong because it's designed like a sandwich. It is designed to go together. There's nothing that should be protruding, you know? So the one thing that I'm personally worried about, well, actually, I wouldn't be. I'm worried more about this wire here that's kind of protruding where the motor hole is. So what I'm gonna just try and do is, without opening it, I think I can probably just get it to stay down just enough. I mean, when the motor goes in, like if I actually grab the motor and just, yeah, there's plenty of space for that to push through. And even if it catches the wire, I mean, it's just gonna connect with some gears. So not a big worry. So we're good. Everything's in properly. I can see all of the holes. So this is a very, very key thing. Is when checking if everything's gone in properly, check these holes. These holes will tell you if the gears are in place correctly and if the shims are in, everything's in. Well, it won't really tell if the shims are in, but it will tell you if things are in the right place. Like, for instance, that annoying fucking piece of shit right there, that's in. If you actually want to check to see if it's collapsed, no, it hasn't. It has stayed in place. So this is great news for us. So what I like to do, just go ahead, make sure all the screws are nice and tight. Big, big thing here. These screws are holding a piece of machinery that will fire very rapid speed. I believe this specific model fires almost 300 FPS, which is still pretty fast. I mean, I'm very surprised it even reaches that kind of speed, which is very interesting. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and do that one more time. My hands are getting tired. Okay. So another thing is when obviously you're screwing, things are going to go down in certain places, which will affect other places. So essentially like a sandwich. And all you need to do for that is just go and recheck those screws. because sometimes what can happen is there's like a little bit of extra room. You want to make this as not so tight that it's impossible for gears to move, but tight enough that if anything, let's say the gears, the teeth all of a sudden just decided to completely fuck off, because that can happen. Your gears can just completely shatter, especially if you're using a modified motor or a motor that's very high torque, um, as opposed to like speed. Um, yeah, it can shatter the gears. I'm using a high torque motor. This is an ultra point torque motor. So this is for torque, but because now I've actually gone ahead and fixed the gearbox, I kind of want to see if number one, it will actually go. I know that the motor will go in, but I'm curious if everything will work still, because there could just be an absolute shit ton of resistance that's going to cause issues. But I don't know. I'm just I'm just a tech, you know? So, there we go. Pop all these bad boys in. And that's it. That's your gearbox back together. And we're just going to test the spring as well, just to see if I've actually put it in properly. So just take a screwdriver, something like this one. Just push it a little bit. If it moves, you've put it in correctly. Cool. All right. So everything works as intended. Everything's inside. You know, we've got our safety. So this is safe. This is semi. This is full auto. This is, yeah, it's going to move on its own, but what I like to do is just push it all the way. And it should just keep it on semi. It should be in the in-between position. This is my Glock. Don't worry about that. We'll make another video on that later. That was just as a little thing I needed to use. Not to worry about that. All right. Back to our gun. All right, so as you can see here, we're going to go ahead and rewire everything. So those two wires, we're just going to push them back down. And essentially now we just want to get the trigger and the motor hole correct. And we also want to get the actual gearbox in, which I believe went in properly. Fantastic! Look at that. Straight away, everything going in properly. Great. We're going to place our deadbolt back in. I don't remember which side the actual deadbolt goes in. Just a little bit stupid. Do I have something to slam it in? Okay, this is not the right side. This is why we do the teeny weeny taps. So let's go to the other side. Place the protrusion on this side. Give that a little nudge and just... Really? Why are you not going in now? Or is there not a straight... Can I actually see light on the other side? Oh! Interesting. Something's protruding in the way. Don't say there's a fucking wire going over that. Oh my days, there actually is. Fuck my life. There's no shit. Okay, don't worry about that. That's okay. After all of that, basically what's happened is one of the wires has gone across the deadbolt section, which has basically caused the deadbolt to now become impossible to put in. Need me a little water after that. Not to worry. Let's go ahead. I need to actually find it first. That's there. Okay. One sec. Apologies about that, I got a call. So we managed to get the deadbolt in. I just moved the cable to somewhere that I would know would be fine. Okay, can we stop with the really crazy texts? Okay, so something I do want to test very quickly is if it will actually give power, because I've now moved a bunch of cables around and I don't know if there's any resistance or anything. So, first way we can test if there's any power is plug it in and see if anything fucking fries itself. Did this just go red? No. I thought it was like a fucking LED or something in there. I was like, what the fuck? Okay, let's get the motor. I'm doing something very sketchy, but this is literally just a test if the wires work. What the Oh my god. Don't you tell me that I put a deadbolt in and the wires got trapped. You're shitting me! I get all of it to work, and then fucking that shit. The deadbolt's not even in properly, hello? It's just kind of fucking about. Bro, let me take the deadbolt out, please. I can't take the deadbolt out. Ah, I can't take the deadbolt out. Can I do this? This is so professional of me, guys. Yeah, no, I can't. Obviously not. Okay, this is new. The deadbolt doesn't want to come out. And it does not want to come out the other way. I know a lot of you are probably looking at what I'm doing right now and thinking, Jesus Christ, he is bashing that gun to fucking shit. But yeah, don't worry. That is literally that bolt. It can handle this. It's literally meant to handle a complete malfunction. I'm just trying to figure out how the fuck to get it out. Because I don't know why. Okay. But where are you getting stuck? I don't get it. Is there something in the way? No? You just deciding to be a bitch. Alright, well, you know, sometimes that's how it goes. That is straight. Fucking deadbolt is genuinely not wanting to come out. And I'm confused as how to actually get it out when banging at it isn't coming out, because that's a problem. Okay, fingers crossed. I should be able to still move this enough to release that wire. Unless, hold on, it should be on safe, and then, yeah. I don't understand though why this deadbolt just doesn't want to come out. Now it's like stuck. Like it gets to a point where it wants to come out and then it just doesn't want to, which I don't really get. What is happening here? Okay. Okay, let's try it this way. Let's just get this. Bro, what? Oh, come on, bro. The deadbolt is so far out now. Nope, it doesn't want to come out. Interesting. Never seen that a deadbolt just does not want to come out. Very, very interesting. I don't think I have an Allen key that's exactly this size. Because like I can get it where the actual deadbolt is, but something really doesn't want to come out. What the fuck? I don't get this. Why? Right. How can you call this a fucking deadbolt if it's not actually... There we fucking go. Now it goes all the way in, which is a good sign. And now there's only one way that it can protrude. So, if I angle this right, I should just be able to slam it right out. But we're going to see. Nope, it gets very... There we go. Holy fuck. Shitty ass deadbolts, bro. Sorry, I don't like this. Okay, so our step here pretty much is just to get the gearbox and everything out again. It probably doesn't want to come out now, but that's okay. That's kind of... There we go. Yeah, what the fuck happened to you? Bro! What the fuck? Oh my god. The cables for the motor just completely fucked off. That is very interesting. So, we're going to pull these through again, and fingers crossed they don't decide to mangle themselves. That would be very pleasant of them to do, or not to do, sorry. So now, go ahead, get the, where's the trigger? Where's the trigger? There's the trigger. And we push that down, make sure that's all pulled in. Push, push, push. Boom, boom, boom. Cables are out. We got our deadbolt. We're going to push the deadbolt in. We're going to figure out this is probably the wrong side. It isn't. No, 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 no. All the way in, bitch. No, you're definitely the wrong side because you don't want to stay in. There we go. Fuck off. I'm just going to have it in. It doesn't matter actually which way it goes in. The only thing I am worried about now is if all the cabling and everything works. So, we're going to do a motor test. Now, if everything has been put in correctly, so the cables aren't being twisted on anything, which... Yeah, that's going to be fine. First thing, nothing has exploded. Good sign. I love it when there's no explosions. Next thing, we're going to plug the motor in. Okay. Can we not be difficult? Semi? Something not plugged in? Maybe the battery? Or the fact that these... It probably is power going through these, it just wants to be difficult. There's actually no power going through them. Very interesting. So I think what's actually happening is... just want to make sure it's not me just being an idiot and rocking things the wrong way. God forbid. But yeah. And this is getting warm, so it is providing power. I think what's actually happened is the cables are so damaged that when this attempts to give power, it won't. There is only one more fix I can think of, which is just to plug the battery back in. But yeah, no. Now, the fuse could have gone. So, I'm going to quickly do a very stupid thing. Don't do this. No, 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 no. Okay, so that's what happens when you're an idiot. Because I have actually just fucking broke the battery, which is fine because I'm never going to use that battery. But wow, how the fuck did that happen? Okay, it over resisted. Okay, that's completely melted that, by the way. I can't tell if that was an explosion. Okay. Yeah, it's soldered itself on there. Don't ever do that. Oh, I just fucked a fucking battery. Let's get the proof now. Where's that battery? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a fucking lipo fire. So what I did, and I just realized this at the last second I was plugging it in, is essentially I have basically removed the fuse, and the fuse actually regulates how much power goes through. So as soon as I plugged a fully charged 7.4 volt in, all hell broke loose. Ah, I forgot to put a part in. Just remembered this motherfucker exists. I don't know if I can just. No, I can't. We're gonna repair this gun anyways. I'm pretty sure, anyways, that the wiring's fucked. But Um, yeah, without a fuse, it's trying to pour a lot of power in at once compared to maybe just something regulated. So, if ever you do encounter what idiocracy I've just caused, go ahead and basically short one of the wires, not short it, but just prevent it from being able to be activated again or to touch another cable. And I'm going to leave that outside now to let it drain very slowly. But because it's puffed up and shit now, I can't put that in a bin. Because the second that the bin men come and put that in their in their truck, it's gonna fucking explode, which is a big problem. Now, anyways, most likely I think what's happened with this one is just simply the the wiring doesn't work properly. It's probably from the fact that like half the wires are crushed and shit. Um, but that's an easy fix, so I'm not too worried about that. What I'm more worried about, just getting some parts in, really. You know, just pop a couple parts in, call it a day. What the fuck is this part? Why? It's a dummy part, but I'm so confused. Okay, guess we have to take the whole fucking thing out again just to put one little dummy part in because airsoft. There we go. It's in. Lovely. But yeah, so technically speaking, this is fully operational. I mean, the only thing that I would need to do is reopen it, pop some new wires in, which isn't too difficult. What the fuck? What do you actually get held down by? Do you get held down by a screw or something? Or is it that you actually get held down by that little piece of plastic that I am trying to get in? Because you push in, how far do you go? You don't go all the way. Oh, okay. No. And it's definitely not the other way. Because that just wouldn't make any sense. But I mean, that works. Whatever. Okay. Fandabidozy. So what I'm gonna do now is actually place the top piece on, get that all on, so that all that stuff gets held in place, and I don't need to go through that horrible, vigorous process of popping stuff in that, you know, and you know, taking it off, taking it back on, all that BM. So I'm literally just gonna put it back together. The only thing this is probably like I could, if you really wanted this to work again, the only thing you would need to do is probably. Alright, I haven't deadbolted the actual gearbox. Oops. I should have maybe deadbolted it. That would have been a good idea. Alright, whatever. I guess we're going to build it. So we may as well do it now while we are here. So just slam the deadbolt in. Give it a couple love taps. Boom! Next step is obviously when you are releasing your mag. Now, when you're firing like this, so your release is on this side. Which means that obviously the other bit, which goes in the back, let me just put the dummy cover back on. Oh, sorry, the other side I'm talking about, not this side. Alright, so just gonna go ahead and what the fuck? Why do you not want to go in now? Oh, hello, where are you coming from? It's this way. Perfect. So now what I like to do, lay it flat. You know, we've still got a lot of pieces to put on. Just lay it flat, and then you're gonna get your little bitch here. Place that spring over. Place this motherfucker on. If I kept that plugged in for any longer, there would have been a fucking explosion. So I'm very lucky right now. Because that lipo battery would have fucking exploded everywhere. Which is what I was really afraid of. But I mean, this wouldn't have worked anyway, so actually I just destroyed a... I mean, I'm not going to use the battery anyways, because the gun that I'm getting requires a smaller... smaller thingy. A smaller, does one work? Yeah. A bigger voltage battery, much larger voltage than before. So, yeah, I sort of demonstrated my very fucking amazing expertise by almost blowing myself up. Hope you guys enjoyed that content, because that's golden right there. You're never going to catch me doing that again. I can't believe I completely forgot what fuses do. That's actually so stupid of me. Okay, so that is in way too tight. Hold the fucking phone. Yeah, it's in too tight. Um, I mean, I'm never going to use this, but I do want it to actually be somewhat functional, just in the off matter that I actually go ahead and use it. So push, and then out, push, out, push, out. Why is it getting stuck? Let me get a mag, just to... It shouldn't really get stuck. There we go, it's fine now. Okay, dokie. Fantastic. Right. Let's get the bolt in for the front. Don't remember where the hell I actually placed. So I got this bolt. Shit. It's here. Why am I so stupid? I know where I left this. Place that bolt in. Flip it over. Let's go ahead and let's see. Is that the right one? Yep. It's not actually running. I just thought it was. I'm an idiot. I need a thicker. And you don't fit, so it's obviously probably this one. No, this one's too small. That's a Phillips head. What is it? This one? It's fucking. Why is it this one? I don't get it. It's always the one I actually put in. Give that a nice, clean insert. Oh, get that nice in. Yeah, perfect. Just make sure that the bolt works. Forward assist, everything. Cool, cool, cool. Place it on safe. Safety on. Place it on semi. We got full auto. Gucci. Okie dokie. What's the next bit? I think I'm gonna put the this bad boy back on because this is easy to put in. First thing I need is my metal bit. Um. Okay. Let's try that again because I just decided to go wee. So yeah, this is never gonna be usable again because this is literally if I can get my phone, my telephone, where it's in my bed. So I'm gonna cut this video up so you don't actually see that. So I think what's basically happened. Yeah, wow. It is melted that. Okay, well, we're going to use it as a showpiece anyways, so I'm not particularly bothered. But this is literally just going to be a showpiece. So, you know, if it's a showpiece, it's a showpiece, I guess. Can I put it in the other way? Or do I have to put it in that way? Okay, let's get all of that out. Let's get the wire in. As far as I can get it in. But it's totally not scuffed. It's totally not scuffed, I see no problem. Oh no. Yeah. What the fuck off? Yeah? Ah, great, the metal plate doesn't want to come. Yeah, metal plates, I love them, but I also hate them. Come on, you're literally. There we go. Alright, so, gonna take this puppy, just gonna loop that through onto here, and that will protect your wiring, which is what you want. Next, you're going to take your bolt and your machined metal, and you're going to run the wire through. like so. Da-ba-da. Wire comes through. Take this, run this all the way down. And you're basically just going to drop it in there, and the wire will run through as well. But that's not too big of a bother. Everything should come together. Take your gun, point it down. You'll see, obviously, this thing has not gone all the way down. That isn't a worry. It's not going to flip. All you need to do is take your screw, keep pushing, making sure you don't trap the wire either. So, and then eventually you won't be able to push anymore, which means, oh my god, you have found the thread. And you just start screwing. And you'll know you do it right because after about a minute or so, it should start to tighten up. And if it starts tightening up, that means you have found the thread and you are actually tightening the screw. But like that. There we go. Fantastic. So you got your wire running through now, and can't really plug the fucking fuse in because of this bullshit. So hold on. That smells disgusting, but we don't care. Wire it all the way down, like so. Boom. Oh my god, this cable is so stiff. So stiff. Alright, we've done all that. Let's go ahead and place the buttstock back on. Fantastic, so you've now got what looks pretty much like a gun. But what's actually missing? Well, quite a few things actually. Well, we do technically have everything that we need so far. We're still missing a pistol grip, which is vital. And obviously we're still missing this bolt, which is the pain bolt, as you remember. See, I think I realized why I actually call it the pain bolt, and that's because the actual threading for this is too short. So the actual threading for this specific section of the weapon is way too short. Again, no pliers, so we're gonna kind of have to leave it like this. Whatever. Okay. So we've got pretty much everything on the gun. We've got all the vital pieces. We got the mag release, which works fine and dandy. We have a working trigger, and we have all of the parts inside that just need some new wires. So the next step is actually putting the handguard on. Now, fortunately, because I'm not a fucking idiot, everything is tight and nice. Okay? Which means that actually putting the pistol grip on should work properly, because the reason it didn't work properly last time is because, well, it didn't, and it isn't going to, because I fucking know it won't. So, you push these through, give them a good old tug, make sure that they're all the way through, push your pistol grip all the way down. You're going to see it's going to connect a little bit. You're going to lock in the safety. Just going to go ahead and put your screwdriver down there. Bob's your uncle. Look at that. Everything working fine. There we go. So just screw those bad boys up. And you're good. Alright, so now we have a pretty good looking gun, you know. It looks nice. So what do we do next? Next is going to be dropping in the actual motor. So make sure that your cables are routed around, pull the motor down, make sure that it can actually go in the fucking hole, which it can, and whatnot. Then, oh my god, yeah, I forgot we actually have to do motor routing. I'm just gonna go ahead and use something small just to lift the actual motor up a little bit. There we go. And that hopefully should let it pop out and I can get to work on the wiring. So run that behind that. There we go. Push it. Push it. There we go. Moves now. See? Hear the movement? All nice and smooth. That's what we want. So get your black wire. See the black connector. And hopefully if I do it right, it should connect. Hello? No? Yes? Maybe? The fact I had a fucking lipo fire is idiotic. I feel so shit. I had a fucking lipo fire. Jesus Christ. What the fuck? I mean, that'll work. That should keep everything in place nicely. You know, we have to just make sure it can actually push all the way down. Cables don't come out. Lovely. So that's what you want pretty much. I mean, it's just yeah, it's just what the hell. Okay. Let's maybe try I don't know, just try pushing the wires in and then just running them into the motor. See, like the black one's fine. It's doing its job. Even when I push down, it's staying connected, which is what we want. But this red wire, man, this red wire, I'm trying to tell you, you know, it's just it doesn't like me. It doesn't like me, man. Why does a red wire not like me? I don't know. Might be because of all the times that I've abused airsoft rifles so badly. Just trying to fucking make it so it doesn't come out every time. Might need to put some tape on it or something. But yeah, simple dimples. That's fine. Good luck. That's fine. Okay. Sorry about the silence. I'm contemplating my views on life after the idiotic move that I made. Please, if any of you are ever watching this, don't do that. Don't take the fuse out. I can't believe I completely forgot this doesn't have fuse back control, which is a control you can use. to prevent any stupid like that. This isn't the right screw. This isn't the right screw. I can tell because the screw doesn't want to thread. Which means somewhere I've placed an incorrect screw. Great. But the bolt just said I'm a dip. For real. Is that okay? I'm pretty sure this isn't the right screw, but could just be a threading problem. So I'm gonna get this one in as much as I can. And hopefully that should just make this thread really easy. I really think this isn't the right screw. Maybe it is. Oh, it is. It's just decided to be on a pain in the ass. So we're going to be using this as a showpiece. Pretty much. Which is why I'm obviously making it all actually workable inside. So everything that I could repair in this is repaired. I'm not going to buy a solder kit, so just GG to this. If I remember, it's just a smidge in. Like about there. Okay, that's it. Everything's good. So that's the end of the restoration. That is pretty much the entire gun repaired. Everything in this works, so it's fantastic actually. Which is great. So I can obviously pop the attachments back on very quickly. There we go. That's how you repair an AEG. So this is the finished result. So the last things I did that I wasn't really showing on camera was just putting the motor plate back on and the motor inside and plugging it all in, wiring it up, and just putting that all on, adjusting it. Everything else I've shown you. I've obviously popped the attachments back on, so we've now got this. If I can just, yeah, I'm gonna pan my camera up. Yeah, there we go. So that's it. That is the M4A1 from Bulldog, fully repaired. The only thing this gun, so I'm going to be using this as a showpiece, or the client, sorry, is going to be using this as a showpiece. Um, so for this gun to work, he would need completely new wiring. Um, he needs all the wiring changed, but other than that, everything works. So this just needs rewiring, basically. Just buy some wires and rewire it. So yeah, but that's it. That's the gun done. That is pretty much a completely disassembled AEG. The only things I did not disassemble was the trigger assembly, but we're not going to touch that because, yeah. Now, in the future, I'm going to also be doing a video on my Glock, but this is simply showpiece usage. I mean, this was never going to work in the first place for very long. Well, it would have if I didn't make a silly mistake, but hey. New wiring is needed anyways because when I opened it up already the wiring was going, so it was only a matter of time. And yeah, I mean just new wiring was needed, but this is going to be my showpiece. So what's actually going to come off of this is probably just going to be the hop up. I might change the motor out on my other gun, but the other gun shoots a lot faster, so there's not really a point. Um, so I think just for a buddy, I'm going to give him the hop up rubber, but everything else on this gun stays, apart from obviously the hollow, this, and the mag. And yeah, that's it. So I'm going to edit this video. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe and like and share the video. Goodbye.